Alright guys, got my little dune buggy out. By dune buggy I mean my Turbo LS S13. Welcome to another vlog, by the way. We have to get this car ready for Sumo-n-Outs. Sumo-n-Outs is coming up in, I feel like 10 weeks, just after Christmas basically. Just the first weekend of the new year is Sumo-n-Outs. So we basically need to get this thing ready. Mechanically it's ready for the most part, however, we have an issue with huge air pocket in the system. So I'm going to take it around to Frosty's now and we're going to basically try and vacuum bleed it to try and get absolutely all of the air out of the system, because it seems like it just keeps coughing and farting, and we're 99.9% sure there's absolutely no reason the head gaskets would be bad or anything like that. Like, it should be 100% fine. So we're going to head there now and see what we can work out, and fingers crossed we get this thing fixed. And then just after the JZX100 event that's coming up really soon, this car's getting painted. Well, when I say car, you know, most of the car's carbon fiber, the hood's carbon fiber, the doors stain carbon fiber, the trunk's stain carbon fiber. So basically the wide body, the body kit, and then like this little bit here and the pillars will be getting painted. I'm not going to show you guys or tell you guys about the color just yet. I think my screen's dirty, sorry about that. Yeah, let's load her up on the trailer and we'll go from there. Frosty been having a big yarn, trying to work out sort of a plan of attack. Yeah. I think we're gonna essentially, well, we feel like some of the problems are stemming from this area here. You've got that piece that you cut out. So basically the hoses that are coming out of this area here can be like, they're super tight. Like basically, well, I can't even fit my thumb in there. I probably can't even fit one of my normal fingers in there. It opens up quite a bit here, but there is like super tight. Frosty replaced one side with the larger diameter stuff, and we're still having issues. We're not 100% where the issues are coming from exactly yet. Still yet to work any of that out, but I've actually ordered a new piece for the front here. So jump onto lukefink.com, grab yourself some of our wicked merch. I did see your message about bringing some merch too while I was driving on the way here. Not that I'd look at my phone while I'm driving, but anyway. We've ordered a new piece for the front. We hope that's going to help a lot with the whole situation, with some slightly different routing as well, because you want to get this hose down a bit lower. Yeah. Frosty's also going to do a bunch of mucking around with stuff in the back. Right now, the water comes to the back of the car, turns, runs across there to the thing, then runs across the radiator. It's sort of a lot of unnecessary routing and stuff like that. So essentially we're going to move your swirl pot on this side, as well as a big recovery, hopefully a huge recovery, because it's sort of what this thing needs, regardless of whether we get the temps fully under control. When I go and do a 4th gear minute-long burnout in this thing, it's still probably going to get hot. So, you know, want it to be able to recover itself with water rather than sucking in a bunch of air and having to deal with bleeding it again. The radiator itself is huge. We've got really good fans on it. It's properly shrouded. The radiator itself is on point. The pump is perfect. Like it pumps like crazy. That's where you had it off.
I had it off on that hose and pumping, and it's actually off the bottom hose down there going to the engine, and it pumps like crazy as well.
Yeah. So the issue, if anything there, it might be pumping a little bit too fast. So we may need to start controlling out through the ECU for the speed of it. Other than that, I don't know where our sort of temp issues and where we're getting these air locks from, and that's pretty much what we're down to more than anything, is we think it's just getting huge air locks and it's not getting the air locks out. And one of the original ideas when I came over here is like, we're just going to vacuum bleed it, and you know, then that'll be that. And sort of, it would have been masking the issue potentially, right? So
just gonna simplify it, like get rid of this big recovery, like the crisscross. You want it to be as straight path as it can, which is why I'm gonna drop that hose to go lower to keep a little gravity, so it's lower than the pump. And then obviously you want the pump to be the lowest point, which is it is now. It's lower than the radiator, but you just don't want any high spots because it's just unnecessary load, dragging air bubbles and all that sort of stuff. So
so that's the sort of thing we're trying to deal with. The time crunch isn't too bad with this car. Sumo-n-Outs is in like 10 or 11 weeks. How far away is Christmas? Yeah, right. So it's like 6 weeks till Sumo-n-Outs, if that. Okay, so like 5 weeks. That's not too bad considering a few little
2 or 3 days.
Yeah, there you go. So Frosty's going to muck around with this. It'll take a couple of days to do up the recovery stuff, and what, 2 days for that pump, that thing we just ordered. Yeah. So that the thing we just ordered for the front, that's going to come in. Hopefully, we're hoping it clears. We may have to do a slight bit of modification down in the front of the car there, but yeah, it's one day this car will work. Honestly, in situations like this and when it doesn't work and when it's apart, I absolutely hate this car. Like, I love it, but I hate it. When it's together and it looks sick and it almost works, I freaking love it. And then, you know, in the times I've had it when it's worked properly, which has been very little, it's off its head, like absolute bananas car. Like, I know I'm going to drive an 800, 900, 1000 horsepower S13 in New Zealand, and I've driven that car before plenty of times, but this S13 is so light. You know, obviously there's nothing here. I only did absolutely necessary amounts of bar work. There's only the bare minimum necessary amount of roll cage, carbon fiber doors, carbon fiber hatch, carbon fiber everything. And I've tried to get the little amount of weight that's in it, you know, as low as I can, and put it in the right places. Like putting the radiator in the back and low the fuel. A lot of people in S chassis put them up in the middle here. I've gone even harder and gone down lower and stuff. It's kind of plus with the convertible, I can mount stuff super low and it's still super easy and accessible. So that's a massive plus with this sort of setup. But there's really not a lot of car here. If we lean, yeah, when the car's not straight on the trailer, I slide it across by hand, put it that way. So it's a very, very light car, and I've driven a lot of competition cars and whatnot. It doesn't quite compare to how this thing feels because it's just so light. A lot of engine for how light it is. You know, I think one day I'll probably go back to an NA LS setup in this car, but just because everything it's got is just too much. But that's kind of what I like about it as well. It's just plain and utter ignorance right now. I think an end goal in this car would probably be an ITB LS, nothing too crazy, like just a nice, you know, maybe not stock, maybe built so I can rev a bit more, but I'd love an ITB LS, pardon? 10 into 1, yeah, exactly. An ITB with a 10 into 1 setup, the rear radiator and everything just like it is, but basically get rid of the turbo setup, simplify it with an NA, you know, setup that wouldn't create as much heat, and then I could turn this back into more of like a drift car. I could drift all the time because it wouldn't absolutely obliterate tyres like it does now. I definitely don't think it'd be nice to tyres still with an NA 500 horsepower in it, but I still think that it'd be much less crazy than the turbo LS setup. And being that I've done the drivetrain in this to suit the big turbo setup, once I would go back to an NA setup, I think it would be stupid reliable and probably wheelie everywhere, because you're getting rid of all of this crazy amount of turbo, intercooler weight and all of that, and the only thing that would be in the front would be a little oil cooler. So, and even then we'd move that oil cooler all the way back, and yeah, we'd create a lot of space, I guess, in the front of the car, and yeah, she would be very wheelie happy, I reckon. Yeah, no. All right, well, I'm gonna head home, let Frosty do his thing, sort of let this cool down, and guess have a play, his kids are on school holidays. Luckily my kids are still at school, so I'm going to go home and continue to catch up on the videos that you guys have just been watching, which I hope you've been loving and enjoying on the number 2 channel as well. If you look it up, guys, just look up Luke Fink and you'll see there's a second channel there now. I've been uploading Tiana's car review videos there and trying to get some raw stuff up as well if I've got that up by now. So definitely go check that out and give that page a follow. I know I'm not starting a vlog, but I used to start all my vlogs, well, a lot of my vlogs, going to see Coffee Guy.
That's a rough. It's probably like the first 18 months.
Yeah,
vlogs.
It's kind of expensive to go to get coffee every day. So we have a coffee machine at home now, but I didn't have a chance to use it this morning because the kids have got Christmas concerts. But after the Christmas concerts, the reason I've driven instead of us walking to the school like we normally would is straight after this, guys. We're going to take the JZX100 to Nicole tuning to get an E85 tune finally. I blame Hayden. It's Hayden's fault. Okay, so if you want to blame anyone, Tiana.
I hate E85 as a daily.
I love E85 as a daily. It's smelling Hayden's E85 all the time, and I'm like, right, that's it. I need to put E85 on my car. So
I can change my perfume if you want.
to E85.
No, there's perfumes that smell like E85, but like without the chemical smell, just the sweetness. Probably
Look,
cheaper.
I like the smell coming from the car. We'll get the fumes from this. I don't like it.
Get an E85 air freshener for inside.
No. And E85, the engine runs cooler, goes faster, all the good stuff.
Told ya.
What? I got the wrong
You
one.
got the wrong one.
So what do you keep sniffing it? It smells good to me.
This is the fine one. The one in the Raptor's the non-fine one.
Oh.
Told ya.
Anyway, we're gonna head to Nicole tuning after I go and watch my kids' concert. Yeah, guys, we've been putting up the new videos now on the second channel with Tiana's car reviews. Definitely go check it out. Tiana's pretty pumped. Jimmy Oakes actually commented on her first like official video on the second channel. So what did he tell you? What did he comment?
Something about me wanting to get a next episode to get a burnout car or something.
Oh yeah.
See, this is the thing. I like burnouts. I
just
like
don't like
burnout
burnout
cars.
cars.
No, I like burnout cars. I just don't like burnout cars with big blowers. I like the lower class burnout car.
Well, like a V6 Mang that should go mang, 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 mang for an hour.
Wait, does go burnout.
All right, next time you see me, we'll be getting some E85. So let's do that. All right, you know you're in the right place when there's another JZX100 Mark II backing out of there. So we're definitely in the right spot. It's freshly tuned up on doing a JZ, so happy with that. So, quickly before we go, we're going to do a quick sort of power run. What would you call it? A power run, I guess?
Power run.
Power run? Yeah.
Baseline.
So baseline, just to see where the car was at, to know how much I'd been playing with, because I'm sort of, I don't really know. I feel like it was around 300 horsepower, 350 maybe. Probably not even that. I don't know. When it hits the gate, it always sounds faster than it is. But I'm kind of knee-jerked into this whole decision to go get the car tuned. And thinking it, obviously it's got a big turbo, it's got an ECU, it's got a twin plate, you know what I mean? It's got all the good stuff. I can hear that it's got a fuel pump. I just assumed it would have injectors, stock injectors. Well, you said they're a little bit bigger than stock. Tiny bit bigger than stock. So, yeah, we'll see how that all goes. We don't know exactly what the injectors are. They might have been doing the old grindy high flow, like I said. Japanese might have done a little bit of a zing, 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 and grinded the top off the injector to get them flowing a bit more.
Whatever sounds dodge.
Whatever sounds dodge? Yeah. Well, it's Japanese, so who knows? We have no idea who tuned it, obviously, either originally. So we're just going to see where it's at and then pump the 98 out. And I got an absolute ton of E85 here. But the problem is we're running on near stock injectors, so probably not going to make a ton of power, but it's going to be better.
said about 300, 350 it felt like.
Good guess.
You hear the gate? That's me fucking with a booster shot.
Yeah, I'll fix that. You can see it on there.
So I believe this is called docking, when you touch tips like that. Docking. So we got all the 98 out. First tank of E85 going in now. We are trying to chase down some injectors, but we are just going to start and see what these stock injectors do, if they're stock or not. They look stock. We're just going to see what it'll do. In the meantime, if we do find injectors, we'll put injectors in. These are the times where you'd love to be in the States. My homie's Deutschworks. I could have just got some real quick smart and had them slapped in, but I don't know. Assumption is the mother of all fuck-ups, and I fucked up by assuming this car would just have injectors, so it's 100% on me. My bad. Alright, so we are full of E85 now. We're just going to muck around with it and see what it'll do on these stock injectors, and I guess we'll go from there. Alright, so baseline E85, what was it before? It was like 330.
330. There's no extra timing.
Yeah, so all we've done is chuck the E85 in and then added 30% more fuel, which my injectors are, pardon? Maxed? Done. So absolutely max fuel. We're still trying to find out about the injectors. Oh wait, I think he's got a handful of injectors right now. Oh, okay. So I guess we might be doing injectors. Wife's gonna kill me, but it's fine. Yeah, jump onto lukefink.com, grab yourself some merch. Oh shit, there's something slipper on the floor. Nearly got this tuned for free because it's nearly slipped over. All right, so we've got injectors. We are going now to see if we can get direct pins to be able to plug them straight in, so there's no pinning, there's no mucking around. Should be all good. I have to ask, you're quite good at lubricating those injectors. No, but why? What's the go?
There's always time for lube.
So what's the reasoning behind lubricating the
So the O-ring doesn't pinch while you're trying to get it in the world's worst spot.
Oh. Yeah, well you use lube for all kinds of things, like fit things in tight spots, so that makes sense. Use lube, guys, makes everything better. Some sweaty boys. Their lubricated holes are fully filled.
Good on you, mate.
Yeah. Your lubricated injectors have filled the holes nicely, and they're not even leaking after I turned it on. So
that's a good start.
Absolute plus. So we're using what, little piggyback adapters for the injectors?
Little adapter up.
Yeah. And you're saying this setup here is like, you've been looking for a setup for injectors essentially?
For a standard rail, and it seems to work straight away.
No leaky boys.
It's hard, but
yeah,
it's gonna be a goer.
Yeah. Sweet. Let's do some E85 numbers. Guys, we're having some issues with spark now. We're up to 20 pounds of boost already. You just say made nearly another 100 horsepower.
Yeah, already.
So
not even a full run.
Yeah, so we're just gonna do. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember if it was my car or Tiana's car. I did plugs on recently, like before I went to America. I just don't remember. So I think we'll probably just throw a fresh set of plugs at this, gap them down properly. I think that's more the issue than anything, is gapping them down. And hopefully she's all apples and we can run at least 20 pounds of boost in this thing, and if not more, really pump up those numbers. All right, I'm kind of conflicted, guys. My car came with HKS plugs. They don't look bad, but the gap is a bit too big. I think we're gonna go for the NGKs. But I'm being very nostalgic with this car, and I do love the fact that a lot of it is JDM and OG, and things like a HKS injector just sort of go with that. But at the same time, we don't want to be pulling plugs in and out. Better put a fresh set in. And I don't know, look, when he gets back, I'm gonna try and convince him that these are a good idea, but he's obviously gonna tell me yes or no whether it's a good idea, but I don't know. Nostalgia makes me want to run HKS. Are these bad? You can tell me the truth.
They're not too bad.
But
normally
we're way better off.
They play up because they're iridiums.
Yeah.
Just freak some of them out.
So we're way better off putting these in though.
Yeah, and they're way cheaper.
How do we tell what the heat is on these? M40i.
Yeah, you got to Google the part number.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess we'll keep the HKS spark plugs. Actually, do you know what, guys? jump on lukefink.com now, grab yourself an order. I'm gonna chuck a HP spark plug in 60 orders. So there you go. I kind of want to keep, maybe I'm going to give away 5 because I kind of want to keep one because I just think it's super rad. So yeah, jump on lukefink.com. I'll look at what day this video goes up and I'll get Tiana to check it out. The first 5 orders, we're going to chuck in the HKS spark plug in. So yeah, that'll be cool.
5 seconds to talk.
5 seconds?
5 seconds.
So what do we gap down to? 4.5 mil? No.
0.45.
4.5 mil.
Very small.
So 0.45.
Yeah.
That's so we can run all the boost.
Yes.
Yeah.
On stock coils.
On stock coils. But you said you've seen stock coils run up to 850?
Yeah, but you still gap the plugs down.
Further than 4.5?
0.4 is probably the lowest I'd ever go, and then you'll consider new coils.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
For the Yanks, what's 0.45 in bloody?
0.5 in American?
Around 19, 18 thou.
Thous. Alright, cool. We are good to go. Alright, do your magic.
I'll go wash my hands.
Got no more.
So the power tune side of things is now done. We had a pretty clean 420, 423 to be exact, but 423 with heat soak. Not too bad at all. When we came in here with 330. So we're leaving with 423. So what, 90 more horsepower at the wheels and E85 for cool, nice cooling. Basically we're just running out of airflow meter and running out of turbo. The rear housing on my car, on this car is, I think it's a 0.61. It's a really small turbo rear housing. So it means we got a massive meaty mid-range. I think it made over 500 foot-pounds of torque, and all of it's in the middle. So it comes on at like 3,800, I think we're on full boost, and that runs right through to red line and holds the boost really nice, but it literally won't make more than 20 PSI. He put the boost control up to 1.7, which is like 25 PSI or something like that, and it just wouldn't go above 20. So 20 is like the turbo's limit. Because of the rear housing, that's the turbo limit. So yeah, we're definitely looking towards getting a bigger turbo, a different manifold and stuff for this car in the future. But with 1J meet coming up this weekend, I really wanted to get this thing tuned and get it on the E85. The weather's getting really hot, and with a 98 in it, keeping temperatures on check was getting a bit harder. Anyone that knows E85, one of the best parts about E85 is the cooling properties of it. You know, you can make big power but also keep those temps down a bit. So I really wanted to do that before this weekend, and I just wanted a bit more spice in it. An extra 90 horsepower at the wheels, what's that, a 25% gain in horsepower is pretty magnificent for the amount it cost me. So guys, if you need a tune on your JZ, definitely get down here to Nicole Racing. They're just north side of Brizzy, north side of Brisbane. Just cleaning up my street driving now, like your idle tune, idling, and then street driving stuff, so I won't use too much fuel while I'm daily driving it. Yeah, super pumped, man. What a car. Obviously, I can't wait to get a bigger turbo on it, better manifold and all that sort of jazz. But, you know, right now, making 420, bro. I'm ready to blaze it up with this thing this weekend. So, I don't know, super happy. Alright guys, next day now, absolute scorcher out here, but drove this thing home, absolutely pumped. Haven't had a chance to give Jason Hayden a bit of a run yet. I think that his car's still going to be faster than mine, so he's still got the title probably of the fastest JZX at the house. But with that said, I can probably drive this one faster, so yeah. Anyway, I'm super pumped. Big thanks to Nicole Racing for fitting me in last minute there. Really pumped. Car is now an E85. That makes me really happy. It smells much better. I hate the smell of 98 now. Like E85 just is a million times better. So huge thanks to them. And I'm very, very happy that this JZX100 is now an E85 and ready for this weekend's JZ meet. So yeah, if you're in Brisbane, come down, check it out. It's gonna be fun. See you guys.